Be honest with yourself. When you walk into a room, do people even notice you? Or do they look right past you as if you don't even exist? Isn't that frustrating? And then you see people who don't even try, yet they command attention effortlessly. They don't have to be loud, they don't have to prove anything. The moment they step in, there's something about them, a presence, an aura, that unshakable energy that makes people turn their heads when you pass by. It's not just about looks, it's not just about strength. It's about the way you move, the way you carry yourself, and the way you make others feel when you are around. And if there is one anime character who has mastered this perfectly, it's Sung Jin-Woo from Solo Leveling. At the start of the series, he was weak, there was no presence, there was no confidence, just another background character in a world that didn't even care about him. But the moment he got access to the player system, everything changed. He trained, he grinded, and slowly his aura transformed. And the best part, you can do the same in real life. Aura isn't something you are born with, it's something you build. And in this video, I'll show you 4 powerful ways to create an aura like Sung Jin-Woo. And trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end because the final way to build your aura is the most important one of all. So let's get started. Own the room with silent mode body language. In Solo Leveling, Sung Jin-Woo doesn't need to shout to command respect. His very presence alone is enough to send chills down the spine of both allies and enemies. The way he moves, stands, and even remains silent all add to an aura that urges people to recognize his strength. But what if I told you that this kind of presence isn't just limited to fictional characters? Before he awakened as a player, Jin-Woo was the weakest hunter in existence, someone who slouched, avoided eye contact, and moved timidly. His posture screamed uncertainty, and his lack of confidence made even the weakest of threats seem overwhelming. However, once he stepped into the world of the system, everything changed. He didn't just grow physically, his entire presence evolved. His shoulders squared, his walk became deliberate, and his eyes carried an intensity that required no words. A perfect example of this transformation happens when Jin-Woo meets Chairman Go Gun-hee in Season 2, Episode 4. The old man, despite his immense influence and reputation, immediately senses that the young hunter in front of him is different. Jin-Woo doesn't bow excessively or act overly grateful for the chairman's praise. Instead, he remains composed. His movements are slow and calculated. His silence speaks volumes. Even when Gun-hee offers him the most powerful position in the Hunters Association, Jin-Woo doesn't react with excitement or desperation. He simply listens, considers, and declines, not rudely, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly where they belong. So how can you channel this kind of silent authority in real life? It all starts with power posing, a scientifically proven concept. People begin to see you differently when you stand tall, control your actions, and allow silence to speak for itself. According to research on power posing, standing in a dominant posture like placing your hands on your hips or expanding your chest for just 2 minutes can boost your testosterone, which is the confidence hormone, and lower your cortisol, which is the stress hormone. But this isn't just about looking confident, it's about feeling confident from the inside out. Try this before walking into a classroom, a meeting, or even just the cafeteria. Instead of rushing in, take everything slowly. Keep your head up and take up space. When you speak, pause for a second before responding. It makes your words carry more weight. Silence, when used correctly, isn't awkward, it's powerful. Jin-Woo didn't become intimidating just because of his strength. Even when he wasn't fighting, he appeared intimidating. That's the aura you can also create, not through force, but through presence. And then you have to cultivate ice calm in the chaos. There's a moment in Solo Leveling in Season 2, Episode 6, when Sung Jin-Woo faces off against Kargalan, the leader of the High Orcs. The moment the other hunters saw Kargalan, they just froze and their bodies got fixed in fear. They can barely breathe, let alone fight. Their minds got spiraled into panic, convinced that they are about to die. But what about Jin-Woo? He didn't flinch. He stood tall, eyes locked onto his enemy, completely unfazed by the suffocating pressure. While others drowned in fear, he remained cool, analyzing the situation with accuracy. His heart rate didn't spike, his breathing remained calm, and when he moved, it was not out of desperation, but rather with perfect control. This is what separates him from the rest. That is why he wins. Now, you may not be battling a dungeon boss in real life, but the feeling of pressure, that's something you will face. Exams that make your hands shake, job interviews that make your stomach twist, moments where your brain tells you to panic and where everything inside you screams to run. But if you want to build an aura like Sung Jin-Woo, you need to master one thing above all, and that is staying calm when the world around you is in chaos. You see, stress is nothing more than a biological response. When your brain sees a threat, whether it's a life or death battle or simply a difficult test, it floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone which makes your heart race, your muscles get tensed, and your thoughts become scattered, making it impossible for you to think clearly. That's why most people choke under pressure, and that's why the other hunters in the Kargalan fight couldn't even move. But Jin-Woo, he had control over his body, over his breathing, over his mind, and that's something you can train too. One of the simplest yet most effective techniques to do this is the box breathing, the same technique used by Navy SEALs before high-stake missions. It's quite simple. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, then exhale for 4 seconds and then repeat. That's it. But what happens when you do this? The nervous system shifts gear. Your body thinks it's safe. Cortisol level drops, your heart rate stabilizes, and suddenly that overwhelming fear, it loses its grip. This is why Jin-Woo commands every battlefield he steps into. It's not just about power, it's about presence. It's about walking into any situation knowing that no matter what happens, you will not crack. And that's something anyone can develop. You just have to train it. Therefore, the next time stress creeps in, don't run from it. Breathe through it. Stay still, slow your thoughts, and remind yourself that this is just another battle. Hack your habits like a video game. Jin-Woo doesn't wake up one day to become the strongest hunter in the world. His rise isn't instant, and it doesn't happen because he sets some vague, massive goals like I'll become the strongest. No, his transformation happens step by step, one daily mission at a time. He completes small quests, levels up little by little, and eventually those small wins add together to make him practically invincible. That's how real life self-improvement works too. If you want to change yourself, don't focus on some distant, overwhelming end goal. Instead, think of it like a role-playing game where you gain XP through small, consistent actions, and over time, you evolve into a stronger version of yourself. Small tasks feel manageable, and completing them gives your brain a dopamine boost, the same feeling you get from leveling up in a video game. Even doing as simple as reading a book can be hacked like this. I know this because I have done it myself. A year ago, I hated reading books. I knew non-fiction books could help me grow, but I just hated reading. Every time I tried, I got bored. Then one day I decided to change. I bought the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy because I wanted to learn about time management. At first I struggled. After 2 pages, my mind just wandered, and before I know it, I was lost in my phone, scrolling endlessly. The book just remained untouched on my desk. That's when I realized my mistake. I was trying to force a massive change instead of starting small. So I made a simple rule, and that is I'll read for 10 minutes before bedtime. That's it. No pressure to finish the book quickly, no huge expectations. Just 10 minutes a day. At first it felt insignificant, but after a few days I noticed something. I was actually finishing chapters. My mind got used to the habit, and before I knew it, I had finished the book. Fast forward to today, I have read more than 15 books, which is a big thing for me. So you must be thinking, what does this have to do with solo leveling and building an aura like Sung Jin-Woo? Everything. Jin-Woo's strength doesn't come from a single battle, it comes from consistent effort. He doesn't chase power all at once, he levels up daily. That's how you develop an aura of mastery in real life. Small, daily action compounds over time until one day you become the person others respect and admire. If you struggle with discipline, turn your life into a game. Apps like Habitical let you transform chores and tasks into quests, where completing them earns you XP. Imagine defeating procrastination by cleaning your room, or leveling up your intelligence by studying for 20 minutes every day. Making self-improvement fun will make it feel like progress rather than work. So starting today, take that tiny action. Earn your XP, and before you know it, you'll be standing tall just like the strongest hunter in the world. And then turn the gym into a secret training zone. See, Jin-Woo's strength wasn't handed to him on a silver platter, rather it was earned. And if you remember the early episodes of solo leveling, the system didn't just give him power, it made him work for it. One of the first quests it assigned him was brutal, which was 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. It wasn't some dramatic supernatural transformation, it was a pure relentless grind. Jin-Woo was forced to break past his limits, to feel the burning pain in his muscles, and to push through exhaustion when every cell in his body screamed for him to stop. And because of that, he leveled up. He became the kind of person whose mere presence alone made others freeze in awe or fear. Now here's the thing, you might not have a game-like system forcing you to train, but the principle is exactly the same. The gym is your dungeon. Every rep, every drop of sweat, every time you fight through fatigue, it's all XP. It's all part of the process of building not just muscle, but something far important, an aura. I know this because I have lived it myself. At first, I hit the gym with just one goal, to get ripped. I wanted to look strong and to see muscles in the mirror. But something else happened that I didn't expect. As the weeks turned into months and the months turned into years, my body changed. But so did my mind. Before the gym, I had a short temper. I would get angry over small things, frustrated when things didn't go my way. But lifting weights changed that. You see, when you train, you are literally putting yourself in a controlled, disciplined pain. Your muscles scream, your breath gets heavy, but you push through it. And something happens when you do this over and over again. Your patience grows. Suddenly, things that used to stress me out, like annoying people, setbacks, pressures, didn't get under my skin anymore. I didn't panic the way I used to. It was like my brain learned that discomfort wasn't something to run from, but something to conquer. It rewired my brain so that I no longer reacted emotionally. I stayed calm, just like Jin-Woo when he walks into a room. Because here's the truth. Your physical aura and your mental aura are connected. This isn't just an anime logic, it's backed by real psychology. Every time you push through a tough workout, your brain releases endorphins, chemicals that fight stress and boost your mood. Studies have shown that people who exercise regularly are more resilient to stress, less prone to anxiety, and more confident in social situations. Why? Because the gym forces you to struggle, and when you struggle daily, nothing in the world feels overwhelming anymore. Therefore, don't just train for looks, train for presence. Make the gym your personal dungeon and start small. At the end of the day, aura isn't something you are born with, it's something you build. Sung Jin-Woo didn't start off as the strongest. He wasn't some chosen hero. He was weak, overlooked, and constantly doubted. But through sheer grind, discipline, and a shift in mindset, he became someone that no one could ignore. And in real life, it's the same. Every workout, every habit, every moment you stay calm under pressure, it all stacks up. The way you carry yourself, the way you enter a room, and the way you make other people feel without even speaking, that's what creates an aura. But here's the truth, not everyone will do this. Most people will watch this video and move on, staying the same. But you, if you have made this far, you are not like the most people. You are ready to level up. So now the question is, will you start grinding today or will you stay stuck at level 1? The choice is yours. Thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.